This video is about hanging indents. And this means moving content by indenting it. Now, there are two possibilities here. The first is we can move only the first line, or we can move the body lines, the text that is underneath the first line in a paragraph. So I'm just going to grab a couple of paragraphs here by selecting them. Okay, so let's just select a few paragraphs. There we go. We'll go right down to there. So there we have several paragraphs. And what we want to do is move all of the content that is the first line. So we can actually come up here to the ruler, first line indent, and just simply drag that across the ruler. And that will take only the first line of each of the paragraphs. You can see that by simply looking down, and you can see how they're now lined up at 1/2 inch. Now I could move that anywhere I wanted to be. So just going to take that back again. The little triangle underneath, or arrow, is actually the hanging indent. Now hanging indents are a little bit different. This is not the first line, but this is every line thereafter. So when I actually grab the hanging indent and pull that across, all the lines below the first line in a paragraph are shifted to the left or to the right. It's entirely up to you which direction you want. Just keep in mind you don't really want to put it into the margin area. So we can actually move it to the right to 1/2 inch or to 1 full inch or anything in between. So let me just drag that back again. There's a little square underneath that which is actually for a total indent. This is first line and hanging indent. So if I grab that, it actually will move all of it at the same time. And you can see this. Just those 3 paragraphs are actually being shifted and indented. And of course, it could be a 1/2 inch or an inch or what have you. The second approach to doing this is to use the paragraph area of the ribbon. There's a down arrow here. I'm just going to click on it for settings. And in the middle are the indent functions. So here I can choose that I would like to left indent or right indent. So if I right indent, it will pull the right hand side in for all the paragraphs. And if it's left, it will pull all of the paragraphs in to the left towards the right side. So I can also choose to use special. And this means that I'm very selective. It's not just the whole paragraph. Maybe I only want to move the hanging indent. So now the question is by how far? And you can actually decide how much to move it across. So I'm going to move this one by 1 inch. And then once I click OK, it should move, and you can see my preview here, that it should move the hanging indent, all the lines except the first line of every paragraph, 1 inch. And there you go. So now it's moved across 1 inch. Of course, I can correct this by simply coming in here and then reversing this to get right back to where it was. I can either type it in or use the little drop-down arrows to move it. And of course, I can decide it's the hanging indent, click OK. It brings everything back again. So for indenting, whether it's the first line or it happens to be a hanging indent that you want to move, you can see the preview. Or what I'm really looking at is to shift to the left, and I can simply grab this and drag it across. You'll see my preview is changing. And if I do the right hand side, I can actually bring that side across as well. And you'll notice it's moving in as well on the right hand and now the left hand side as well. So you can actually indent this in any particular way you want to. Just keep that in mind going forward. Now I'm just going to cancel that because I don't want to do that. Hope that helps.